comrades. Thank you for always keeping it Maxman, and I hope you enjoy our teachings that we keep sharing every now and then. Don't just enjoy them. Pick a lesson, apply it in your life, be transformed, transform the life of another man. That is how we reach men out there, one man at a time. It all starts with me and you, playing our part in the quest to transform and teach other men. That I call the championship thinking. Have you ever thought about championship winning? Have you ever thought about being a champion? Who is a champion and how do they become a champion? This is what I discovered. Champions don't become champions in the ring. They get recognized there. You don't become a man out there in society. You become a man in your private life. You're only recognized as a man out in society. And I believe it's a good philosophy to build life on. You don't become a champion in the ring. You only get recognized there. How about we also start thinking like that in our daily lives as men? We don't become men in public. We get recognized as men in public. Our becoming men is built in our private life. That is where this principle of private philosophy determines public performance comes from. Let's take the example of Abraham in the Bible, in the book of Genesis, chapter 14, starting from verse 14. When Abraham heard that his relative Lot had been taken captive, guess what he did? Abraham called upon 318 men that were raised under his household. Can you imagine? 318 men that were raised under his household. How many do you have under your household? Or how many do you have under your name? Do you know what that means to have 318 men raised under your household? This is what it takes. One is training. The Bible says all these 318 men were trained by Abraham. There was a training process. Number two, empowerment. Abraham empowered all these 318 men. Number three, he gave them identity. They could easily identify with Abraham. No wonder when he called upon them, when the time for battle came, they had to respond. They had to come out because they identified with him. He had empowered them. He had trained them. How many have you trained? How many have you empowered? How many can identify with you? If you are to be in a problem today, who can you call on? Or you need to call out somebody out of your life. And yet, at that point, you need to call on somebody to come to your rescue as you get into battle. Remember, we said a man cannot fight alone. You cannot be a lone ranger. Think about training some men, empowering some man out there, and giving them identity that they can identify with you as a man. The championship thinking or mentality requires that you pick out a man, train them, empower them, and give them identity. Identity based on the truth. Identity based on the true biblical principles of life. Don't try to give them any other identity. You will be destroying their mentality for being champions. But give them identity based on the truth that manhood and Christ-likeness are synonymous. And remember, a warrior that has been given identity, or who is sure of his identity, will not turn away on the day of battle. You can easily call on to them. If a man is sure of their true identity, they cannot shy away from failed men. They cannot shy away when called onto battle. They cannot shy away when needed into action. That is what we call championship thinking. Will you try hard as you can and build the championship mentality? Training, empowerment,